Okay, I highlighted a few points and I forgot the first point I was going to talk about, which started off by me stating that we have six senses that we send and receive information. So I'm going to go down the steps of what we do with information and how we react to information, how we receive information, because everything is information. In the air is information. Everywhere on this planet, in the universe, in the quantum world, is nothing but information. So if you know how to use information, then you can solve every problem because information is right in front of you. You just can't see it. Just like you can't see air, a lot of that is there. A solution to a problem is invisible until you see it. So there's a lot of aspects to how we perceive reality that is invisible. And all we're doing is sending and receiving information. That's all we're doing. Sorry, when you put a smile, you're receiving information and you're sending out information just to have a smile. Even when you're not talking about it, you send out the vibe through information. So there's lots of ways you're putting information out into the universe. So um, tap into that information, tap into the solution, the information that's right in front of you, and you can make it happen. So you got to know how you send and receive information, and part of it is you see things. If you lose your sight, then your hearing tends to get better, more heightened. If you lose one sense, and you'll get more strength in another sense. It's like if you have one disability, you gain strength in another ability. And sometimes your disability is experienced because we're all one, and you're a reflection of, you're setting us an example that hearing can be better. When we have perfect hearing, then we can base it by somebody who's blind. So we can see how we can evolve and learn more about our abilities by the people that are dealing with the disabilities and showing us how they overcome it. So, like, the trick is not to die from it. The trick is, you know, be the solution that you want. Now, for me, I've, worked in a factory with high stress. So, repetitive work has destroyed my joints in both my arms from the shoulder, elbow, and wrist in both arms. And the fibromyalgia is, muscle problems. So it's like if you're scared to death for your life, um, you're in running mode, and that does things to your muscle. I always looked in perfect condition um, because my muscles were in good shape because I was always in a stress mode. So it's like if you go and work out, you're tensing your muscles, right? Well, if you're in a constant tense setting, like your brain is set there, and you don't even know how to relax anymore. And it's so natural to you that you think, hey, I'm perfectly normal. And it's like, no, you're stressed, and you can't even see that you're stressed. And it was only when I started relaxing that I started aging. So I knew before 2 years ago, I knew how to stop aging. I'm 51. Um, and I really truly believe that it can turn things around. Um, you can rejuvenate, you can heal things that are already damaged. I think we see an example of that when you see cancer that, is there, they're dead cells, and miraculously they just disappear. Every part of that body just healed itself. So age can heal itself. There's a reason I look like hell. Um, I've lived not my 2 years has not been pleasant because while my children have been raised with a perspective, and I'm getting off course about the six senses, but I'll get back to it. Um, well, actually, I should talk about that first. The way you send and receive information is through your eyes. I mentioned that, through your ears, through your smelling, through your taste, um, and speaking and touching. Um, so that's one, two, three, four, five touching. Um, taste and talking, you're sending information as well. So that's sort of like six. So we're probably living with seven senses, and we haven't really quite realized it, if I'm counting it right. But the one that we're not using is intuition, and it doesn't matter the other, it's your intuition. And that's where trusting yourself comes in, is getting in tune with your own intuition and knowing what's right. And there's a way to tap into it, and there's a way of knowing what's right and knowing what's wrong. And the biggest way to know that you're doing everything right is coming from a state of love. If you can get yourself into a state of love and ask the universe any question, and you use your intuition, you will get an answer. A little voice inside your head that makes the suggestion. Um, we all have those little voices in our head. We talk to it all the time. When you're just talking to yourself, or you're assessing something, you're talking to yourself. That is your full potential there inside of you. And that thing, that full potential of yourself, communicates with you all the time. But it's how you are asking it the information. So if you're really, really upset and pissed off, you'll tend to ask stupid questions like, um, why are they pissed off at me? Well, yourself at its full potential will protect you at all costs and make you look like the good guy. And it'll say, well, because he's an asshole. But if you ask through love and ask a different type of question, like, what's their perspective that would make them treat me this way? Then you'll get a completely different answer. So, a same situation, a same direction, a pivotal point in your time, um, the direction that you will take is going to depend on, can you calm yourself down? Can you get yourself into a state of love and ask the right type of question? Or can you completely lose it when you're really pissed off? And I mean, look at some of these geniuses. I mean, Bill Clinton. I mean, when he sat there talking about how innocent he was, that guy was a master of being calm and knew the right words to say in a public setting to make him look so good. So, notice he was calm, and he was tapping into the information he wanted that made him, look good. We all do it. So, that's why I knew no matter what, I needed to take a time to calm down, because I had plenty of reason to be pissed off. And with this economic system crashing, every one of us are going to have a good reason to be really, really pissed off. And you will take that out on people you know. And, you could create enemies that aren't necessarily your enemies, but this is where we start getting misunderstanding each other. It's like it's us against them. Not that I want to cause a war, but I want you to understand there's good and evil, and we cannot feed evil what it wants. Because if you give evil what it wants, then evil grows. And so you can't act in any way, shape, or form in anger or frustration, or you will destroy yourself. You will get the wrong answer for yourself. But if you can remain calm, then you can get all the right information that makes you look like a genius, makes you look good all of the time. And because you have to be in a state of love, and you have to kind of love what you're doing, you love your life, you love everything you're doing, you're feeling confident. I mean, every good feeling you're having is what you need to create. So it's